Hello students, welcome to your chemistry class. Let us continue further. In the last topic we discussed about the decomposition reaction, and to continue further, let us have one more example related to the decomposition reaction. Here we discuss about the photochemical reaction. So this type of the decomposition reaction takes place necessarily in the presence of the light. That light can be the sunlight, that is the natural one, or any other artificial source of the light. For example, the decomposition of the silver chloride or simply the silver halides. Here, this is a famous decomposition reaction that takes place in the photography also. This silver chloride, the formula of silver chloride is AgCl. In the presence of the sunlight, this silver chloride decomposes to give silver and chlorine. क्लियर? जैसे हम देखते हैं बेटा फोटोग्राफी में क्या होता है कि एक्चुअली जो सिल्वर और क्लोरीन के आयन्स होते हैं वो आपस में लिंक्ड होते हैं विद अ वेरी वीक बॉन्ड, द कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड, एंड व्हेन द सनलाइट falls in the presence of this, it turns into the silver grayish color. So that is when it gets ionized and the silver ions are separated out and the chlorine ions, they are separated out. Another example of this decomposition is the silver bromide. Silver bromide in the presence of the sunlight decomposes to give silver and bromine. This bromine and chlorine here is released in the form of the gas, while the silver is collected in the form of the solid. And both of these examples are used in the photography, as I told you earlier also, black and white photography. Then another example we are having, that is another type of the reaction, that is the displacement reaction. Okay, so in the displacement reaction, this is number 5. It is a very simple reaction, displacement reaction, in which the more reactive substance or the more reactive metal displaces the less reactive metal or the substance from its salt solution. For example, if we take the copper sulfate solution and iron, as we know that iron is more reactive than copper, therefore it has the tendency to replace the copper from its salt solution, and the compound obtained over here, that is ferrous sulfate, FeSO4 plus copper, is being separated out. So here the copper gets displaced. This sort of reaction is the displacement reaction. One more example we are having here, that is the again with the copper sulfate. This reaction is between zinc and copper sulfate solution. As we know that zinc is more reactive than copper, therefore it will displace the copper from copper sulfate solution and form the compound called as the zinc sulfate. Okay. Then another example we have, that is the lead and the copper chloride. Lead is more reactive than copper, therefore it will displace the copper from the copper chloride solution to form the lead chloride, and the formula is PbCl2. Along with this, the copper is separated out. So there are so many examples related to the displacement reaction. Then another type of the reaction, that is the double displacement reaction. This type of the reaction takes place between the two salt compounds. Okay, for example, we have sodium sulfate Na2SO4 and we have barium chloride BaCl2. What happens here in this double displacement reaction, that the exchange of ions takes place and one of the compound obtained is in the form of the insoluble substance which settles down or either remains sparingly soluble there in the solution, which is considered as the precipitate. So here the barium will react with the sulfate ions to form the barium sulfate. The white precipitate of the barium sulfate is being obtained over here, and precipitate always we show with the downward arrow mark, that means the downward displacement, and this sodium chloride in the solution form is being obtained over here in the reaction. Students, another example we have between the sodium chloride and the silver nitrate. Silver nitrate is AgNO3. Here silver will react with the chlorine and form the silver chloride, again the white precipitate which settles down, and the solution obtained over here is, that is sodium nitrate, that is NaNO3. So students, you can try with more examples over there. One more example we have, that is between the lead nitrate. What is the formula of lead nitrate? That is PbNO3 whole twice, and potassium iodide. If you remember, we have done it earlier also. So reaction between lead nitrate and the potassium iodide. What will be the product obtained over here? There will be the lead iodide formed and potassium nitrate. This lead iodide obtained over here, it is the precipitate. The yellow precipitate is being formed and potassium nitrate solution is obtained. So these are some of the examples of the double displacement reaction also, and as the precipitate is obtained, one of the important byproduct, therefore we consider these as the precipitation reactions also. But it is not necessary that all the double displacement reactions they are the precipitate reactions. Sometimes both the products obtained are in the solution form, so such type of reactions cannot be considered as the precipitation reactions. Now one more type of the reaction, which is a very important one, that is the oxidation reaction, reduction reaction and the redox reaction. Let us first of all have the concept about the oxidation reaction. So this oxidation reaction is a type of the reaction which involves either the addition of oxygen or either the removal of hydrogen. If there is addition of oxygen, we say that it is an oxidation reaction. If there is removal of hydrogen, then again we say that it is an oxidation reaction. Or sometimes if it involves the electronegative radical, the addition of electronegative radical, for example Cl negative, Br negative. Okay, so this is considered as the electronegative radical. If it involves the addition of this radical, we say that again it is an oxidation reaction. Or sometimes it involves the removal of the electropositive radical. इलेक्ट्रोपॉजिटिव रेडिकल. अब ये इलेक्ट्रोपॉजिटिव रेडिकल्स क्या होते हैं, जैसे कि Na पॉजिटिव, K पॉजिटिव, Mg2 पॉजिटिव, Ca2 पॉजिटिव, ओके, such type of the radicals are called as the electropositive radicals. And if in the reaction such radicals are being removed, again we say that this type of the reaction is an oxidation reaction. So I'll provide you some examples regarding all this, so as to have the clear concept about the oxidation reaction. For example, if we take the first one case, here one example is the reaction between the carbon and the oxygen. Very simple one. Okay, we know that when carbon reacts with the oxygen, what is the product obtained over here? This is the carbon dioxide. So what we see here, that the oxygen that gets added to the carbon to form the carbon dioxide. So we simply say here what? Addition of oxygen. So this type of reaction is an oxidation reaction. Another example I provide you, where we see the removal of the hydrogen. For example, in this B case, if we have the reaction between the hydrogen sulfide, the formula is H2S, and bromine, okay, the formula is Br2. What we see here, hydrogen sulfide reacts with the bromine to form हाइड्रोजन ब्रोमाइड, और इसका फॉर्मूला क्या है? HBr. So 2 molecules of the hydrogen bromide are obtained over here, and the sulfur that is removed. Okay, so in this case what happens? From the hydrogen sulfide there is removal of hydrogen. Again we say that this is an example of what? The oxidation reaction. एक और एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको बताती हूँ जहाँ हम देखते हैं कि इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव रेडिकल जो है वो ऐड हो रहा है रिएक्शन में. अगर कोई इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव रेडिकल, जैसे कि मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया कि Cl नेगेटिव है, Br नेगेटिव है, O2 नेगेटिव है, ऐसे रेडिकल्स ऐड हो रहे हैं रिएक्शन में किसी कंपाउंड के साथ, तो ये क्या बन जाती है? ऑक्सीडेशन रिएक्शन बन जाती है. तो यहाँ मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देती हूँ, जैसे फेरिक क्लोराइड में FeCl2. बेटा याद रखेंगे इसको हम क्या कहते हैं? फेरिक क्लोराइड. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि आयरन की जो होती है वेरिएबल वैलेंसी होती है, फेरस आयन भी होता है, फेरिक आयन भी होता है. अगर तो इसका ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर 1 होगा तो वो फेरस होगा, ठीक है, और अगर इसका ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर 2 होगा तो वो फेरिक होगा. सो यहाँ पर इसमें आयरन का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर क्या है? 2 है, देयरफॉर इट इज़ फेरिक क्लोराइड. अब फेरिक क्लोराइड जब रिएक्ट करता है विद द क्लोरीन, हम यहाँ पर क्या बता रहे हैं? एडिशन ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव रेडिकल. तो इस केस में क्या होगा? दिस क्या कंपाउंड बनेगा यहाँ पर? FeCl2 प्लस Cl2. दिस विल गिव अस FeCl3. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर ये क्या कंपाउंड बनेगा? दिस FeCl3. ओके, तो यहाँ पर अगर आप ध्यान से देखेंगे व्हाट हैपन्स इन दिस केस, 2 molecules of FeCl2 react with 1 molecule of Cl2 to give us 2 molecules of FeCl3. This is completely balanced. Here we see that addition of electronegative radical. यहाँ पर कौन सा इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव रेडिकल है? Cl नेगेटिव का. तो that takes place, therefore this sort of reaction is again an oxidation reaction. एक और एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको बताती हूँ जहाँ पर हम देखते हैं कि इलेक्ट्रोपॉजिटिव रेडिकल कंपाउंड में से रिमूव हो रहा है. तो इस रिएक्शन को हम क्या कहेंगे? इसको हम कहेंगे ऑक्सीडेशन रिएक्शन. जैसे देखिए रिएक्शन बिटवीन पोटेशियम आयोडाइड जिसकी फॉर्मूला की Ki है एंड हाइड्रोजन पेरोक्साइड जिसकी फॉर्मूला की H2O2 है. ठीक है, तो अब यहाँ पर क्या कंपाउंड्स हमें मिलेंगे? आयोडीन इज बीइंग फॉर्म्ड एंड पोटेशियम हाइड्रोक्साइड इज obtained over here as an another product. Okay, so what we see here, that from the potassium iodide this it gets oxidized to iodine as the removal of electropositive radical which electropositive radical? That is K positive. Okay, this K positive radical takes place over there. Therefore, we say that this sort of reaction is the oxidation reaction. So students, I have provided you all the 4 examples related to the 4 different factors which signify that this is an oxidation reaction. I hope you can understand well through these examples. Try with more examples. Now let us move to the next one, that is the reduction reaction. So next is the reduction reaction. Again, in the reduction reaction, this is the process which involves the addition of hydrogen or any other electropositive radical, or either the removal of oxygen or any other electronegative radical. So what are the 4 conditions here? पहली condition बेटा ये है reduction reaction में कि addition of hydrogen. ठीक है, कभी कभी क्या होता है कि इफ़ द हाइड्रोजन इज़ नॉट बीइंग एडेड देन ऑक्सीजन गेट्स रिमूव. तो रिमूवल ऑफ ऑक्सीजन अगर होगी वहाँ पर रिएक्शन में, अगेन वी से दैट इट इज़ एन रिडक्शन रिएक्शन. ठीक है, या हम देखते हैं इसमें एडिशन, ये रिवर्स है ऑक्सीडेशन रिएक्शन का. हम देखते हैं एडिशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रो पॉजिटिव रेडिकल. ओके, ये कंडीशन भी हो सकती है. या हम देखते हैं 4th कंडीशन क्या होगी, रिमूवल ऑफ इलेक्ट्रो नेगेटिव रेडिकल. ओके, so let us move with the first one factor, that is the addition of the hydrogen. One example we are having here, that is hydrogen sulfide reacts with the chlorine to give hydrochloric acid, that is HCl, and sulfur over there. What happens in this case, as we can see clearly in the reaction, hydrogen gets added to the chlorine. So here we say that addition of hydrogen takes place. Okay, which is the first one condition. So this type of reaction is the reduction reaction. Another case, another factor is the removal of the oxygen. Let us have one more example. Here this is the cuprous oxide. It reacts with the hydrogen to form what? To form the copper, and water is obtained in this case. What you can see clearly from this cuprous oxide, oxygen is removed. If there is the removal of oxygen, we say again that this is a reduction reaction. Then the third case is what? Where we see that the addition of an electropositive radical that takes place over there. For example, we are having the compound ferric chloride. The formula is FeCl3 that reacts with the iron, that is Fe, to give what? Ferrous chloride. The formula is FeCl2. Let us balance first of all this one. 2 molecules of the ferric chloride react with the 1 molecule of the iron to form 3 molecules of the ferrous chloride. Now what happens in this case? That one electropositive radical, that is what? The iron, that is Fe2 positive, okay, or Fe3 positive, because it is again having the variable valency. So this gets added to the ferric chloride to form ferrous chloride. So what we can see here in this condition, the addition of electropositive radical. Okay, so in the reaction, if there is addition of an electropositive radical, we say that it is a reduction reaction. Let us move to the 4th one factor, where we say that the removal of the electronegative radical takes place. Okay, condition, let us have again the same compound, that is the ferric chloride, and FeCl3. okay, this reacts with the hydrogen sulfide to form ferrous chloride, that is FeCl2, and another compound obtained over here is hydrochloric acid plus this sulfur is being separated out in the form of the gas over there. Okay. Let us first of all balance this reaction. Two molecules of the ferric chloride react with one molecule of the hydrogen sulfide to form the two molecules of the ferrous chloride and two molecules of the hydrochloric acid. Okay, now in this reaction what we see clearly that to this ferric chloride, one of the chloride radical that is removed over there. Therefore we say that removal of electronegative radical as Cl negative radical that is being removed over there. Okay, so this type of the reaction is the reduction reaction. Now we have seen clearly that there are the four different conditions by which we can consider that this sort of the reaction is the reduction reaction. Students, कभी कभी क्या होता है बेटा, आपको पूछा जाता है क्वेश्चन में कि आप ऑक्सीडेशन रिएक्शन के एग्जाम्पल दें के रिडक्शन रिएक्शन के एग्जाम्पल देंगे, तो वहाँ पर आपने ये सेपरेट रिएक्शंस देनी है. और अगर आपसे रिडॉक्स रिएक्शन पूछी जाती है तो रिडॉक्स रिएक्शन में क्या होता है कि एक ही रिएक्शन में ऑक्सीडेशन भी हो रही है कंपाउंड की, रिडक्शन भी हो रही है, यानी कि ऑक्सीडेशन और रिडक्शन अगर एक साथ होती है रिएक्शन में तो इस प्रकार की रिएक्शंस को हम रिडॉक्स रिएक्शंस कहते हैं. तो जब जैसा पूछा जाएगा क्वेश्चन में आंसर भी आप वैसा ही देंगे. डू नॉट इंटरमिंगल द आंसर्स. ओके, वन मोर एग्जाम्पल वी हैव फॉर द रिडॉक्स रिएक्शन. तो यहाँ पर मैं आपको एक एग्जाम्पल रिडॉक्स रिएक्शन की दे देती हूँ जिसमें हम देखते हैं कि ऑक्सीडेशन और रिडक्शन जो है वो एक साथ हो रही है. जैसे बेटा देखिए यहाँ पर हम देखते हैं कि एक जिंक ऑक्साइड फॉर्मूला है इसकी ZnO, दैट रिएक्ट्स विद द हाइड्रोजन. ठीक है, हाइड्रोजन के साथ रिएक्ट कर रहा है और क्या कंपाउंड देगा हमें, ये देगा जिंक और साथ में हमें देगा वाटर. तो इस रिएक्शन में हम क्या देखते हैं कि जिंक ऑक्साइड में से ऑक्सीजन रिमूव हो रहा है, तो हम लिखेंगे रिमूवल ऑफ ऑक्सीजन. रिमूवल ऑफ ऑक्सीजन क्या होती है बेटा, दिस इज द रिडक्शन, है ना. और हाइड्रोजन में जो है ऑक्सीजन ऐड हो रही है, तो हम क्या लिखेंगे यहाँ पर, एडिशन ऑफ ऑक्सीजन. तो एडिशन ऑफ ऑक्सीजन क्या होती है, ऑक्सीडेशन होती है. सो अब हम इसमें क्या कहेंगे कि जिंक ऑक्साइड गेट्स reduced to zinc and hydrogen gets oxidized to water. As you can see that in this reaction both the oxidation and the reduction are taking place, therefore this type of reaction is the redox reaction. So students, try with more examples.